The SFF dude bros will be up in arms. What do we got? Let's see. This is hard. Well, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' books. We are doing another edition of the reread, rewrite, burn, tag, challenge, whatever. I have done this 3 times in the past before. The last time was in January of 2020, and I did it using books that I had read in 2019. So I'm book filming today, as I always do. So right now we are gonna do the books from 2020 round. And there's several. I didn't include all of them. Like if it was, I don't know, a graphic novel that I randomly read, or like some, I don't know, like a Dear America book from my childhood that I was reading, or a lot of rereads I left off, stuff like that I left off. But the rest of them, I read like 90 some books in 2020, and I printed them out and cut them up, and I made them very tiny on accident. So yeah, we're gonna do a couple rounds. I'm not gonna go through all of them because there's a lot. We'll see how many rounds I do, and we're just gonna pick 3 out at a time, and then I will determine of those 3 which one I will reread, which one I would rewrite, and which one I would burn. This is painful sometimes. Sometimes it's really easy, and you're like, oh yeah, easy. So okay, these are so tiny. Why did I do this? I used like size 10 font on my my Google sheet. And so when I printed them out, they were like itty bitty. Okay, I have 3 here. What do I have? We have Restless Slumber by KJ Sutton. That is book 2 of the Fortuna Sworn series. Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. And then, The Unspoken Name by A.K. Larkwood. Okay. I think Incendiary I would reread. I quite enjoyed that. There were elements that I didn't love, but in comparison to these ones, I think I overall enjoyed this one the most. So I'll pick Incendiary to reread. And then I would pick, what would I pick, man? Because both of these, the Restless Slumber and The Unspoken Name, I didn't love, but they had great potential. Because Fortuna Sworn, the first book, I really enjoyed. But then this one, I was just like, what are we doing here? And I just didn't love it. But The Unspoken Name is adult fantasy that had such a cool premise that I felt was a bit squandered. I feel like this has more potential than Restless Slumber. Initially, I was thinking I was going to say rewrite Restless Slumber. Okay, because they're very different. They have very different potential. Restless Slumber had the potential to be like Fortuna Sworn, which was fun fantasy romance times. Cool, fun fantasy romance times. Whereas The Unspoken Name, to me, had the potential to be epic, awesome, complex adult fantasy times. Do you know what I mean? So I'll rewrite The Unspoken Name and then burn Restless Slumber. I'm so sorry. Okay, next round. There's 1, there's 2, come on, there's 3. All right. What do we got? Let's see. Timeless by Gail Carriger. That is the 5th book, the final book in the Parasol Protectorate series. From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. And Foundation by Isaac Asimov. All right. Oh, God. I'm going to say reread Timeless because I have reread Timeless several times. There are things I would change about the kind of continuation of the Parasol Protectorate series, the last couple books, but overall I like all of them, so I'll just reread Timeless again. And then From Blood and Ash and Foundation, they're so different, obviously. And Foundation is one that surprised me because it's hardcore. I mean, it's totally sci-fi, which is not typically my jam. The science jargon and space shit, I'm always like, what? But this is one where I did really enjoy. It's different stories, kind of. We're moving along in time. And one part of the story I really, really liked. But then all the other parts I was like, okay, whatever, I don't know. From Blood and Ash is the first book in that series, and I thought it was really fun. There were still elements I would have changed about it, but like it was just like a fun fantasy romance, good times. And I feel like there's more potential for me to like this more by rewriting parts of it than there is to like this more by rewriting parts of it, which is maybe sacrilege. The SFF dude bros will be up in arms, but I'm like, I think I would maybe rewrite From Blood and Ash to like it more and then burn Foundation by Isaac Asimov. But this one is kind of hard because, again, it's like the last one where they're very different. You know what I mean? Like, I just think, like, so much would have to be changed about Foundation for me to really vibe with it. I don't know, though, because it has the potential to be, like, way more profound, obviously, than From Blood and Ash. And, like, the rest of this series is garbage. So, yeah, okay, all right. I'm going to be a grown-up. Very different reasons. I could easily have either one of these rewritten to like better if we're going to ignore the rest of this series. But considering that I fucking hated the rest of this series, I'll burn From Blood and Ash. And I'll give Foundation a chance and have it rewritten to maybe like it more. But yeah, that was a close call. Oh, God. Okay. 3 more. The Governess Game by Tessa Dare. A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. And then Remembrance by Rita Woods. And okay, all 3 of these are just kind of like, they're fine, I guess. I feel like Remembrance I probably had the most like issues with, or Song of Wraiths and Ruin. The Governess Game was just like, it's just not my jam, you know, just kind of a quick historical fiction. It was fine. It just wasn't anything like memorable for me. But then like A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, I quite enjoyed a lot of it. But the ending, I was like, oh my God. So you know what? Okay. But then Remembrance had like several things that like plot-wise I felt didn't make sense, but it really had the potential to be super awesome. This is hard. Because I'm like, none of these are just like, oh, I'll just reread it, you know? But okay, The Governess Game is just so like, meh, for me. I'm going to burn The Governess Game. It wasn't bad. I didn't like rate it low. I think I gave it like 3. It was fine. And then, okay, I feel like I would rewrite A Song of Wraiths and Ruin because I think that's the more popular one. Roseanne A. Brown, right? That's the author. Sorry, I just thought of that. I think it's the more popular one. And I think it could have been like more popular had it just been a little tighter towards the end especially. But like the characters were cool and the world and the plot was like a great concept. And I think the characters were generally well done. But yeah, the ending, it just sort of, I don't want to say it fell apart. It wasn't like ruined entirely, but it just kind of was like, what? Okay, what? So I would say I'd rewrite this, Song of Wraiths and Ruin. And then I guess I'll reread Remembrance. Maybe upon reread, I'll like find more that I felt like made sense. I don't know. Whatever. All right. We have, oh my God, come on. The Signature of All Things by Elizabeth Gilbert. A Crown for Cold Silver by Alex Marshall? Is that right? And then A Promise of Fire by Amanda Bouchette. Which one is this? So, all right. Ooh, good. I'm gonna burn A Crown for Cold Silver. This is another one. I didn't hate this book, but I just struggled to read through it. I struggled to get into it. I think it was just a book, one of those books where it just wasn't my vibe, you know, and just the writing style was just difficult for me to get gripped by, you know. So I'll burn A Crown for Cold Silver. I will reread The Signature of All Things. There are things about this that, like, I didn't love this as much as City of Girls by any means, but I liked it a lot still. There's certain things where I would, like, maybe tweak, but generally I just really enjoyed it, so I would reread that. And then A Promise of Fire, I really, really liked a lot. I didn't love the rest of the series, particularly the conclusion. I was like, what the fuck is this? But even this first book, there were certain things that I would want to change. Just a couple. Like the male love interest getting a little too physically aggressive a couple times. It wasn't like egregious, but yeah, just like one or two times where I was like, maybe not. Let's not do this. So I would change that. All right. I don't even know what number round I'm on. Like 4 or 5 maybe. Jade War by Fonda Lee. Book 2 in the Greenbone Saga. Breath of Fire by Amanda Boucher. That's book 2 in that series. And Son of a Trickster. I'm going to reread Jade War again. Okay, Son of a Trickster and Breath of Fire. Both of these I had issues with. Breath of Fire is book 2 in a series, so it's kind of like I should rewrite that one to make me enjoy the series as a whole a little bit more, right? But it's like Son of a Trickster, I think, had more potential to be like a more profound, impactful book. For me, though, there were just things about it that, like dialogue and character choices and plot stuff that just kind of felt disorganized. Is that? I don't know. But had that been different for me, I could have really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm going to rewrite Son of a Trickster and just burn Breath of Fire, I guess. I could just consider the first book the end of it. Okay, I'm going to do like maybe 1 or 2 more. The Picture of Dorian Gray, Bad Romance by Heather Demetrios, and A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer. Okay, which I unhauled, right? Didn't I? I think I did, yeah. Okay, I'm going to reread Bad Romance, even though that was a very difficult book to read for me. I have a whole video talking about that book and the depictions of relationship abuse. And yeah, it meant a great deal to me. The representation there and just the explanation of what it's like to be in an emotionally, mentally, and physically abusive relationship and verbally abusive. Yeah, so I will reread that, even though it was difficult to read. I read it very quickly because I was just like gripped by it, but several times I had to like stop and take a second. So then A Heart So Fierce and Broken and The Picture of Dorian Gray. I mean, The Picture of Dorian Gray is like a classic. What am I going to change about it? But I mean, there are things I think could be changed about it. But then A Heart So Fierce and Broken, like I loved A Curse So Dark and Lonely. And then A Heart So Fierce and Broken was just kind of like, it was there. And then I didn't want to continue with the series. Yeah, we'll rewrite The Picture of Dorian Gray. And then I guess we'll burn A Heart So Fierce and Broken. Okay. We'll do one more round. Malice by John Gwynne. Stormcaster by Cinda Williams-Chima. That's book 3 of the Shattered Realm series. And The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. Okay. I am going to reread Stormcaster because of that series. I didn't love that series, and I didn't keep any of the books because it felt weird to keep just book 3 of a 4-book series. But like, I really liked book 3 a lot, so I'm going to reread Stormcaster. It's another situation where Killing Moon, the themes of it and everything are like really interesting. The world is, again, an interesting concept for a world and for the magic. It's very interesting. But, oh my God, I can't. N.K. Jemisin's writing style thus far has just not been for me, has not grabbed me and gripped me the way that I've wanted it to. But Malice, I loved the rest of this series. Books 3 and 4 are just like, oh my God, so good. But book 1 for sure, and even a little bit book 2, were just like a little slower to get into. I liked it. Like, I liked Malice, but I wasn't head over heels for it. So I'm gonna rewrite Malice And I'm gonna burn The Killing Moon. I'm sorry. Everybody's gonna stone me in the streets. It's just, you know, it wasn't for me. Daughters of Neri by Rennie K. Amayo. Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by JLA, Jennifer Armentrout. And, Ring Shout by P. Jelly Clark. We are gonna reread Ring Shout, 1000%. We are going to rewrite Daughters of Neri. I really liked that, but there just were a few things about it that didn't really grab me. I didn't get super emotionally invested, and I think with some tweaks to maybe the characters and the plot, it could be like really, really great. And then we're gonna burn Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. Yeah, this isn't even the one I DNF'd. This is book 2 that I pushed through, but about 70 to 80% of this book was slightly painful to read. It was not good. So fuck it. We're burning that one. Okay, I'm just gonna do one more. I think then we're about done. One. Oh god. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Do we know what I'm gonna do with that one? Jade City and Dark Wild Night. Okay, actually, Jade City I'm gonna reread again because I really like that. Dark Wild Night is by isn't that by Christina Lauren, the duo group? I'm pretty sure, isn't it? I don't know, maybe not. It's like a new adult romance, contemporary romance. I'm gonna burn that one. I didn't like it. It was whatever the fuck. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, though, I fucking hated. But with one simple fucking change, I could have really loved this book. One simple change. If instead of following the point of view of goddamn Coriolanus, whatever the hell, Coriolanus, is that what it was? Snow, President Snow in his youth, instead of following him, we had simply followed Sejanus. Great book. Would have been a great book. Still would have learned all the things about the start, the first few years of the Hunger Games. We still would have seen firsthand someone in the room while they were deciding changes to make to the Hunger Games that we later saw in Katniss's time. Like, we would have seen the stuff with the rebels, all that shit we would have still seen from a much better character's perspective and without the really, really fucked up, like, emotionally manipulative, abusive bullshit at the ending. So, yeah, I would rewrite this and have it be from Sejanus's perspective and just have Snow be a guy that was there and, talking to him. So there we go. There is another round of rewrite, reread, or burn, or whatever the fuck it's called. Reread, rewrite, burn. The thing. I have enough here where I could, do a round 2 of just, oh god, I just threw them, of, just 2020 books, but it's fine. Unless you guys want me to, but I don't know. I probably won't. I'll just do 2021. Like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined and you have not already. And as always, if you just want to say hello, but you don't have much to comment, you can just leave a little emoji down below. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.